Okay, right from the bat, I'm going to say that this episode of Boruto was a significant improvement from the previous 3 episodes. I really enjoyed it and thought it was great. Being a YouTuber and everything, reading comments and looking into the community from a wider perspective, it's really easy for me to point out what the wider consensus is from the variety of viewers watching the anime, from spectrum A to Z. In my opinion, I feel like we as a community think that this quality of episode should be the base standard of what fans should expect from Boruto, and then we work from there on improving it over time. However, since we all must admit that Boruto is inconsistent in quality at times in terms of writing or animation, it just isn't going to hit its peak of what it could be or reach the heights of Naruto anytime soon. Boruto is a popular anime for sure, don't get me wrong, but I still don't think it's grabbed all the fans back into watching it again after they dropped it. I see this being said to me a lot. You guys will be surprised, and I'm being quite honest here. I think that Boruto has a great potential to improve and go beyond our expectations in the future with the introduction of Kara and Karma the Seal, which I predict will make all the old fans come back and dick ride this anime as they usually do. I mean, the way the manga is going, I personally am 100% satisfied on how it's written, and I feel like its direction is really great. Let me know what you guys think and what you feel in the comment section. It's great for us as a community to let each other know what we're thinking. Anyways, let's cue the intro and finally get started with my opinion and analysis. This channel is partnered and sponsored by AnimeRaya.com. If you want to get anime or Naruto clothing, check it out and use discount code ABDSquad for 10% off your whole order. So as I said before, I enjoyed this episode. It really is an improvement from the last 3 that we have watched. This episode actually taught me something new about snakes, which was really surprising and I really didn't see coming. When an anime does that for me, I appreciate it because, as I said before, Boruto has been kind of predictable lately. There was great interactions and foreshadowing in this episode, so as always I'll explain everything for you guys so it's easy to digest. The episode starts off with Garaga and Sasuke summon Aoda fighting each other, of course, and in regards to the power scaling of these 2 snakes, it's pretty obvious that the anime was trying to say Garaga has the upper hand, and some people may interpret this as if Garaga is stronger than Aoda, since Garaga was facing 5 genin and Aoda all at once. Now, I'm going to defend Aoda by saying that he was most of the time in a defensive stance since he had to protect the kids at all costs because he doesn't want to let Sasuke sensei down and let them get hurt. And that was kind of a red flag to me that Aoda was already tired and pushed himself to his limits 3 minutes into the episode. But they did mention beforehand that Garaga is a nuisance and bullies all the other snakes in the cave, so maybe he is the most powerful in terms of raw strength, but he has some weaknesses, such as basically having 1 eye. The episode then teaches us something new about snakes, and if you guys know me and watch all our other videos, you know I'm a sucker for science and I wouldn't mind applying that logic to anime. So this was refreshing to me because it's an actual fact, it's legit good writing. Scientists have actually discovered in real life that snakes do have receptors that allow them to find prey in the dark. Snakes can see in the dark thanks to protein channels that are activated by heat from the bodies of their prey. These can be called protein ion channels. Vipers, pythons and boas have holes in their faces called pit organs, which contain a membrane that can detect infrared radiation from warm bodies up to 1 meter away. At night, the pit organs allow snakes to see an image of their predator or prey as an infrared camera does, giving them a unique extra sense. So seeing this be implemented into the anime was a brilliant idea. The way Shikadai figures this out only exemplifies his importance and intelligence, and when I was watching the episode, I didn't find myself questioning things as much, like, wait a second, what? How? This doesn't make sense, or this is dumb. I liked how it portrayed Shikadai's intuitiveness of seeing Inojin using his jutsu and using it just fine, because it's a drawing, thus having no heat response. It was a very clever tie-in to the whole plot device in the episode. Another brilliant yet simple idea was Yurito's side plot. As I predicted last week, it was of course a genjutsu that put him under mind control. The news of transformation jutsu made sense to me because Yurito clearly doesn't know these god ninjas that well to register the difference, since his whole life he mostly spent it within the Hokage HQ. I'm glad Sakura and the gang picked up on it to see who betrayed who. It was really intelligent on their side. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I have a dark sense of humor sometimes. Just for reference, my favorite comedian of all time is Dave Chappelle. When the scene pops up of Udon finally being a badass for once, which leads to Yurito's supposed death, a heckload of memes popped into my head immediately. I don't know why, don't ask me, it just did, and here they all are.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Also, since Yurito had an explosive planted within him, it only tells us how serious the new ninjas are about their plan with Mitsuki, and that how far are they willing to go that they will kill people if they had to. Cutting back to the fight with Garaga, we got context regarding his hatred towards humans, and to me, I personally don't buy it. Garaga's summoner didn't betray him. I'd like to think he knew that he wouldn't win, so he disabled Garaga from fighting and then died at the enemy's hands. He just wanted to save him from dying, so he made him fall unconscious so he wouldn't go on fighting recklessly like he was proposing to do and was gonna do. I mean, otherwise it was kind of a bit random and made no sense. It needs more context to why he did those actions. On the other hand, if the summoner did betray him, it only foreshadows the idea that Boruto will also be betrayed by a close friend one day, because in the future Boruto also has the same cut on the same eye. Maybe Kawaki will do this, thus receiving the same scar as his summon if he stays permanently, that is, if he is a permanent summon. I also believe Boruto has gotten stronger in terms of chakra control, or the amount of chakra that he has. Maybe the Karma Seal has increased his chakra amount, or it's the inheritance of his genes. Being a prodigy and all, being able to summon Garaga that easily, it kinda needs to be explained. In the original Naruto, for Naruto himself to summon Gamabunta, it took all his chakra reserves and 9 tails to help him out. But then again, it can be argued that Naruto at the time had way less skill than Boruto in terms of chakra control right now. Boruto used the Vanishing Rasengan again today, so it's pretty clear that he's learnt to master it, which is completely broken. Every character that he does it on gets surprised by it because it literally cannot be registered. Also, in my interpretation of how Boruto saw Garaga's memories, it's probably Ninshu, or a new ability from his Karma and Pure Eye combined. I'd like to think it's Ninshu since it's easier to understand. Sharing Ninshu is a simple concept which allows people to understand each other, and you get to see their memories and feelings that they have. This results in them having a speech no jutsu as usual and forming their contract. On the other hand, you can also interpret it that it was initiated by Boruto to see his memories due to his new powers, which he also seems to have the ability to have since he has Otsutsuki genetics. We don't know at this point. When Garaga opened up his blind eye and it was bright white, it just looks like Boruto's pure eye. This is another thing I predicted last week, that Garaga may be Boruto's summon and not Sarada's because his design matches Boruto. Now, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think it should be a permanent summon or until they deal with Mitsuki's situation? Another thing I would like to mention is regarding the Great White Snake Sage. Thank you, thank the Lord, thank God they didn't retcon it. And as I said, they changed her design back to the original state, which is 100% canon. That was good to see her in that form. She even states herself that Boruto has an interesting destiny and it cannot be stopped. So this whole theme of destiny with Boruto is never ending. They keep building up the hype around it, and I just hope they don't let us down. Let me know what you guys think about this and your analysis in the comments. As always, join me for the next video by smashing that notification bell. Follow me on Twitter or Instagram to stay in the know, and I'll see you next time.